Welcome to YOLK, Rehashed, Generation Next, with Larry Tazuma and Summer Wynn. YOLK is back.
Hi, Tim KWOK, and did I say your name right?
You sure did. Good morning.
And hi, Kevin Boston, for being my co-host. Thank you very much.
What's up?
We have film producer Tim KWOK and film and TV and commercial and music video director Kevin Boston. Yay!
Hey, everybody.
Yeah. I'm actually excited because you were excited when I was texting you, and I am going to talk about Tim's. We are going to talk about Tim's movies, which is like spans from decades. Because my husband is gaming, so I don't have the TV as much. We have to connect it.
Right.
Yeah. So
I hear you.
And I hate watching it on
the computer.
On a small laptop. But I gotta say, you guys did serious special effects on that show. The movie has Jackie Chan and Claire Forlani, and she did this movie after she did Meet Joe Black.
She did, yes.
Which is so crazy. Yeah. It's so crazy because I didn't know she even knew how to do combat or even. I think it's martial arts. I'm not sure. Because when you watch a fighting movie, you're trying to look to see if there's a stunt actor in there. But what made you want to write that? What made you want to produce that movie, Medallion?
Well, it kind of came from my producing partner, friend, colleague, a family friend, I would say, Alfred Cheung. So he was the main producer for the film. So he sort of came up with an idea like, what if, because Jackie has always been, like this amazing action hero, and so he's never seen a film where Jackie had died. And so he said, well, what if Jackie died and came back, like almost like a superhero.
Yeah.
So I said, oh, that's kind of cute, But then, but he went a step further. He said, it'd be great. Instead of Rush Hour, maybe because Rush Hour had the concept of pairing Jackie with another comedic actor like Chris Tucker. So we said, hey, instead of going the American comedian, why don't we find an English comedian actor?
Evans. Yeah.
So originally, before we casted Lee, we casted. We were going after Rowan Atkinson. Mr. Bean. So it would be amazing Jackie Chan and Mr. Bean in a film together, right?
Yeah.
So we were like, oh, that would be so amazing. So it took some time. We went to London, we met with his agent, and they said, look, Rowan's a big fan of Jackie, but the problem is Rowan is now developing a spy movie, a bumbling spy, and it was Johnny English. So he felt like, I think Rowan might feel like it's in the same, even though yours is an Interpol agent. So sure enough, but I'll run it by Rowan and see what he says. And Rowan says, look, I'm a big fan of Jackie. Please tell him it's such a pleasure that he reached out, but I truly, am going to do Johnny English, and it's been something I've been doing. So please tell him, hopefully next time we'll get an opportunity. So that was that. I think there was a brief moment that somebody suggested, what's this gentleman's name? Roberto Benigni.
Oh, yeah, the beautiful life.
Yeah, because he had just done, Life is, I can't remember the Academy Award winning movie.
Yes.
Life is Beautiful.
Oh.
And then, because he was also very sort of, like physical comedian. Yeah. So we wanted to kind of harken back, like, wow, if conceptually what it was, Buster Keaton meets Charlie Chaplin, bringing these two sort of personalities together. And then, somebody recommended Lee Evans. So when we had gone to, even with the Roberto Benigni of it all, we didn't really fully pursue it, only because we heard that Roberto was very much about making movies that he created, he directed. It was less so that he was an actor, more so like he was a filmmaker. So we felt like, well, it was a long shot. So the agent, I think from Italy, said, yeah, Roberto's focusing on, I think at the time, Pinocchio. So he's like, his whole head is in it, because it was a huge epic movie. So we're like, okay, well, that being the case, let's find somebody else a bit maybe younger or someone up and coming. So I think either CAA or an English agent recommended Lee Evans, who was just in Something About Mary, and was also in Mouse Hunt, DreamWorks, where he was funny. And then we saw his stand-up comedy. He's hilarious. And so we met with Lee, and I think Jackie and him hit it off. We had dinner in London, and then we're like, okay, let's see if we can get Lee Evans for the film. And then thank goodness Lee was available, and then kind of joined us, and he turned out to be great. A lot of chemistry, you know, and then and he sort of like, when in terms of Claire Filani, we were. It was sort of a kismet or accident, and a good accident, because what happened was she had just come out Meet Joe Black, so there was a lot of
press for her.
A lot of press for her, but also a lot of offers. And then somebody had recommended another actress who I will not name, who we were also like, oh yeah, why not? But then I think her agent from CAA, I'm quite sure, said, look, please. Don't make any offers. I think Claire's a big fan of Jackie. I was like, oh, okay, but this is kind of it's not a serious movie. It's sort of a fun, action comedy. Is she going to be okay with it? Because we have always heard that Claire was about like, okay, I really want to do very serious, sort of drama, and of course, because you're trying to get the Oscars and all that. But no, the agent said no, she really is a big fan of Jackie, and she would love to do action. So we're like, okay. So when we got the really, it was just pure, I think, luck and maybe the universe kind of putting all of us together. And then she came over. We shot in Dublin and London, so she came over early in Dublin, and we trained her.
How many months?
It wasn't long, probably maybe about a month.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Wow.
So what do you see on the action on the film is really,
it's her.
It's her,
Oh my gosh.
So she was trained by Jackie's team and Sammo Hung's team. So
Shoot! I had a magazine with Sammo Hung.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You should ask Sammo about it. Yeah. Sammo really she can do good stuff. Let's just make her do action. So we were quite blessed, and everybody was gung ho. Everybody got kind of really got along. It was interesting because we shot to a certain point and we had to stop because Jackie had already committed his time to, I think, the tuxedo. That was the
robotic.
The DreamWorks movie, because he had promised Steven Spielberg that he was going to do that film. So we had gotten him between Rush Hour. He finished Rush Hour 2, came to our film, and then started working with us. And then we shot maybe 60%, and then we stopped. We went Dublin, London, and then we stopped. And he went to do Tuxedo. Then we picked up after he finished Tuxedo, because I think he was doing
that.
I think he did that.
It's not easy doing.
He did that in Toronto, I think, and then he finished Toronto. He came and joined us back, and we shot the rest in Hong Kong, and then I think Thailand, because we had built sets.
So everybody was on hold.
Yep, all the actors and all that stuff.
That was back then. It was easier, huh?
Well, I think it was easier, but also we made. Of course, we knew the schedule ahead of time, so we worked it out with everybody in terms of the talent and the actors. So I think, if I remember correctly, I think Lee went back and did some shows, like some stand-up shows, and then spent time with family. And then Claire had gone on vacation, but also did a small film in between, so came back and joined us. So we were quite blessed. So and then And then there was a lot of, it was a film that was independently financed by a Hong Kong film studio. And they fully funded the movie. And then, yeah, it was quite lucky. And then we had multiple sort of studios after us. And then I think finally we went with Sony. Yeah.
They say like your name.
Oh no.
They say Zhao Lang.
Oh yeah, that's my Chinese name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so much
Zhao Xiaolong. Yeah.
Longer than your real.
Well, so that's the Mandarin pronunciation.
Yeah.
So the Cantonese pronunciation is KWOK Siu Long.
Okay.
Yeah. So which is I guess very similar to Vietnamese actually. Yeah, if you pronounce it. So yeah, the enunciations like because the Cantonese like similar Vietnamese like 6 to 8 tones. Yeah. Mandarin only 4. So yeah.
So it's KWOK.
KWOK is my family name.
Chinese or?
KWOK is Chinese. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. In Mandarin is Guo. Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah. Because I was excited because I never get a Vietnamese, compadre here. Like co-host, it never happens. I don't know that many Vietnamese people in the industry.
It's good to see that.
Yeah. Apparently, you know more than
you guys represent. That's great.
Thank you. No. The other thing is when they did were you there when they did the fight scenes, or did you because producers don't have to be there every day, but did you show up?
Yeah, I was there every day on set, only because I had to kind of put out fires in between. We also had a very solid line producer from Hong Kong, but also a very good line producer from America, Rick Nathanson. He really kind of helped. He's a very respected veteran producer, and then he actually produced the Bruce Lee movie, Dragon. Oh, wow. The Dragon movie. Yeah. So, he's a good friend, and then so he really helped the fort down. But the scariest thing about it all was we shot Dublin, London. I think Dublin. Literally, I left Dublin to go back to LA for a few days when we wrapped, and then 3 days later you wake up and it's you hear on the radio, these planes just flew into these towers and we're not sure what's going on. Yeah.
Oh shit, that happened.
Oh yeah. So we're like, holy shit, and then it's finally you turn on TV and like, what's going on here? It was literally September 11th. Wow. So my entire the below the line crew, the Americans and all, were all stuck on
because
in Europe.
The train had to be parked and
nobody could fly anywhere.
Yeah.
So the great thing about during that time was, as Americans we were given a lot of sympathy and love, and you could tell what a lot of our fellow Europeans and fellow world citizens were all like.
It was like unity.
Yeah.
The whole world. It was like.
Yeah, unity. They were like, oh my God, I can't believe what's happening for you guys. We're here for you and everything. I was hearing friends all stuck in Toronto because it was during the time in Toronto Film Festival. So it was a bit of kind of all over, what's happening. So for us, it was literally a movie thank God we wrapped the movie, and then it's just that I think my line producer Rick and then a bunch of other friends, other colleagues were there, I think on the second week of wrap, I think, and then they okay, we can't leave.
And when you guys did all those pickups, was it bringing back department heads, or you just went to that city and just kind of laid out what you guys?
No, we brought back department heads.
All the department, and the local hire.
So our production designer from Joe Nemec, amazing gentleman. I also worked with him on a movie at Universal a few years ago. But he, he's actually James Cameron's production designer. He was the production designer on Terminator 2.
Yeah.
And he was, I think, assistant production designer on Abyss. And then he's done all these big movies, I think Speed and then Twister.
Oh my God, he's done great work.
Oh yeah, Chronicles of Riddick. Yeah, he's amazing. So he was, I think he was also stuck in at that time in Ireland because he was trying to wrap up for because the art department is so
they're going to
big,
wrap after the
Yeah.
fact.
yeah, so they all a bunch of fellow Americans were just like, oh my god, what do we do?
Yeah. And how much were we grounded after 9/11? Like, was it a 2 weeks or was it like a month?
Well, the good thing is that we were, with touch wood, we literally wrapped the movie, so we still could wrap while everything was happening because we just can't fly up.
Right.
So everything wrapped, and then we just let everybody go. However, I think it more or less affected other productions because for us, we're on hiatus.
Right.
So it wasn't so much a pickup; it was more of what do you call it? It was more of like a planned hiatus that we all knew we were going to.
So everyone agreed, and all the agents and
So we shot everything we needed, and then picked it up. I think in January or February after, because that was like September, I guess, September 11, right? So then, then we headed out to Hong Kong because there were the Hong Kong sequences. Then there was a lot of interior, like for instance, there's a big castle, right? You saw that scene in the action at the end.
Yeah.
That was entirely shot in Thailand.
In a real castle?
We built the entire interior castle. So we sent Joe out there to build this whole castle in this huge stadium.
Wow.
Yeah, it was insane.
It was a lot of wire.
Oh yeah.
And
there's a lot of wire works.
And Julian Sands.
Oh yeah, Julian was lovely.
I'm Buddhist, so I don't know if I can say God bless his soul.
Oh yeah.
But he did quite. The thing is, you have really good cast.
We were blessed by getting Julian on board. It was a funny story about him and Jackie because we were shooting. There was a fight scene between them, and then that was where we were shooting in the forest in Thailand. And when you go out into the forest, because I think it was like maybe an hour outside of Bangkok that we were shooting. And then, so when you're out there, the villages there's the villages around, and there was like these folks that came and sold interesting types of food, like for instance, deep fried crickets, or deep fried stuff. I mean that's the local. It's all protein, right? Local. Yeah. So he came for and for the crew mainly, the local crew. But Jackie was like, oh, what is this? So he started trying everything, he started like he ate the fried crickets, he ate the fried. I think the one thing he ate was the fried scorpions, which was very interesting. Yeah,
How do you eat something that's going to sting you?
Well, no, it's all deep fried. It's all deep fried. I mean, when you're deep fried, you get
potato chips.
Everything tastes good when you're deep fried, right?
Yeah, everything's good deep fried.
Yeah.
No, I haven't, but I can only imagine it's just crispy and like oils, flavor. I
mean, there were no deep fried cocktails, so that was good. I remember. And then he'll eat it and he'll go offer it to everybody.
Oh my God.
So he gave it to me, and I'm like the hell no. And then he kind of scoffs like And then he walks to Julian, and Julian's reading I think some sort of like Shakespeare book or something sitting
as they all do.
Yeah, so it's like it was very very posh and very. And then what is this, Jackie? And then and it was funny, and Jackie like offered him the fried scorpion. Hey, have some. It's good for you. And it's protein. And then Julian's like, okay. And I could tell he was very hesitant, but yet he didn't want to look like he was weak in front of Jackie. So he took one and then just nibbled on, and kind of made this like, what am I doing? And Jackie just kind of walked away and snickered a bit. So it was funny in the sense that just seeing them work. I was like, I told you, hey man, you don't have to, no need to pretend. It's like no one wants to eat that if we're not into it. But it was a fun moment.
Oh, I bet.
They all got along. So yeah.
You're very Tim. You're very humble, and even with the blockbuster films that you've done, like I was trying to find more information about you, like FBI or something, because it's like I couldn't find enough information about you.
No.
You're like almost off the grid.
No, my wife always says best not to say anything. Because once you start talking, and then you're like, you don't know who you might, offend anybody. Yeah.
Oh, right.
So best not say anything.
No, I mean like written stuff. Like, do you do? You don't even have a bio.
Yeah, I really don't. I feel like the work for sort of speaks for itself. Yeah, I mean at this point, because filmmaking, as you guys know, it's so like you don't necessarily you're not getting an MBA. You're not chambering, or you're not you're not tied to a hospital for like 7 years to prove yourself. So filmmaking, if anything, is sort of like make what you do, and So if anything, the film should be what speaks for itself.
Copy.
So, yeah.
The other thing was that you have. I watched what was it? Blade of.
Blade of 47 Ronin.
Yeah. And there's a lot of Ronin films out there, right? I've seen, but the fact that you guys have female power, empowered roles in that film, like only, I mean, people, if you watched it, only one of them died, and so usually just kill so I found that really enjoyable.
Thank you.
My husband and I watched it last night too, and it was so. I'm surprised I didn't get a chance to see it in the theaters, because it was like so. It was that the choreography of it all was, and also we interviewed Dustin Nguyen already. So I didn't get a chance to watch it, and then now I watched it. I go, oh my God, Dustin's in there, right? And I was impressed by all the sword fighting. Even the honor that they have, they promoted a lot of honor about, not cheating. But then I saw some cheating from the bad guys, and they're supposed to fight with swords. And there was one scene where Dustin Nguyen and I forgot the other guy's name. I guess because I haven't met him yet, but he plays Akeda, and they fight when they put down the sword.
Right.
I don't understand that at all. Like first they were fighting with swords, and then they put down the sword, and then started like fighting without the sword. But
I think it was it was a
it was a weird choreography.
I think it was a conscious decision from our film director. I think he wanted to showcase a certain different style of these warriors. So
that was good. That was good. Yeah.
I mean, the one thing with that project, it was always meant to be a Netflix movie, so it was not meant for theatrical. This good friend of mine at Universal, John Orlando, he called me up one day and said, hey, we're doing a sequel to the 47 Ronin. We'd love for you to come in and think about maybe producing it.
Wow, somebody just reaches out and says, hey, could you produce millions of
I mean, I was very honored, very humbled, very blessed. And I said, hey, yeah, sure, it'd be great. So went in, and then, I think originally the script was mostly very typical. Mostly the heroes were all guys, which was fine. I got no problems with that. But then I was saying, hey, be interesting. Maybe they could be women.
Yeah, they caught it.
And then I think when I was talking to Ron Yen, the director, Ron said that'd be great. So he did research, and he found. There was women samurais that protected the shogun, and they were called Ona Bugeshas.
Yeah.
So I think he said, let's do, let's craft a scene where there were other clans, mostly they were guys, and then this is the only clan that's women, and they were headed by Mark Dacascos, right?
Yeah,
so
dude, that guy was like, I could see that you brought him over to.
I did. I was quite.
He's so impressive.
Yeah, I kind of called Mark, hey, you're in this movie.
Yeah,
and then Mark's like, okay, sure, why not?
No, he plays bad guys and good guys.
Yeah. But he's like the nicest guy in person. Like, he's so sweet. He can't speak more. There's no chance of speaking ill about Mark Dacascos. He's so amazing, so generous. Also very very open, and also just a loving person.
He played Japanese really well.
Yeah, he's actually he's a mixture of many different ethnicities, I think. But so I think it was interesting in the sense that the clan with most of the women were frowned upon by the other clans, right? But then of course internally there's the bad guy, and he sort of sabotages all the other clans, and now you depend on only the women clan to save the whole. So the idea was originally sort of like this is a secret society, modern day, kind of the linked back to the Forgotten Blade from the original film, from the first film, the Keanu Reeves film, right? And then and then so of course I'm and the director's like, Ron's like, oh, I wonder when Keanu will show up. I said, I'm so sorry, dude, we don't have that budget. Ours is a streaming movie, not theatrical film. As much as we all love to have Keanu come back, but no, I think it was a lot of fun. The action was great. I think we wish we had more time to do the action. It was just so limited because of.
That's surprising. It doesn't look like it was limited.
Yeah, I think we were quite blessed. Again, that was the film that I brought Joe from the production designer from the Jackie Chan movie.
Wow.
Because I knew that I needed a really seasoned hand to come in and give the production design a beautiful look. That it should look more like a $20-30 million movie, whereas ours is much smaller. And then I just said, well, why don't we bring somebody like him in, and he can make it look bigger than what it should be, even though he didn't have a lot of time and resource as well.
You also had Jonathan Rhys. Is it John Rhys Davis?
Yes.
I hope I didn't say
John Rhys Davis.
Yeah, thank you. When they have John, it's always like you never know.
Yeah.
So that guy is so amazing. He came from the Indiana Jones movies.
Oh my goodness!
Dude.
And then before Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. And the Lord of the Rings.
He actually had shot Lord of the Rings. And then but Lord of the Rings had not come out yet.
Yeah.
So we got opportunity to hire him on in between before it came out.
Copy.
Yeah.
No, just for the listeners, John Rhys Davis was in Medallion. I'm jumping because I just remembered your cast, and I was like, I got to, but
when you remember, you got to bring it up.
Yeah. He's an amazing actor.
He is.
And he brought so much. He didn't get to bring too much levity in as much as this one, except when Jackie Chan falls off the building, and they all felt like it was so funny. It was so funny that they all the comedy in both Medallion and also Blade of
47
Ronin was on point.
Oh.
Yeah. Which I love.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that because I can't watch something too much without some levity.
And I think now it's you see it now in like Marvel movies, and I think that's why Marvel has a head on DC because they balance comedy, seriousness, drama, action, just like a roller. I always feel like when you create a film, it should be a roller coaster. It's up and down, instead of just stagnant and then one up or down. And I think that's why Marvel has overcame the DC Zack Snyder era because a balance for everyone.
That's true. When I watched first Batman with Christian Bale, I was like, God, man, it's so depressing. That's why I don't watch. But I mean, it was really good.
Yeah.
It was just so depressing. But they did criticize whoever I'm talking about, viewers, not me, but they did criticize Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And they said it was too
funny. Yeah.
It's like you can never satisfy.
Too funny?
Yeah.
But it's a good film.
Yeah. It was. The other movie I like was Knights of the Zodiac. I don't know if are these movies for kids, mostly kids, or just kid adults, like people who act like kids.
Well, I think for Knights of Zodiac, because it was based on an intellectual property that's been around for I would say 35 years.
Yeah.
So it's got like maybe 150 to 200 episodes of animation, and it's got video games. It's got
so much history.
Toys, and then animated features. So we felt like, okay, well, we could take a stab at it. I think our challenge was that the IP was not known in the U.S., or at least it was not a success in the U.S. So that was our challenge. But we felt like, okay, well, let's give it a try. And the second challenge was we shot it during COVID.
Oh, wow.
So it was very hard. We managed to make our way to Hungary. I think was one of the few countries that were open, where at the same time also the COVID cases were quite low, because I think the vaccination program was pretty strong. It was interesting because they were using the Russian vaccination, I mean Sputnik, and their success rate was almost 70%.
Wow.
So, however, that kind of the hardest part was that it sort of conflicted with our insurance companies,
right?
Because insurance policies from the U.S. companies were mandated by regulation by law, American law at the time, that we were not to acknowledge the Russian vaccine.
Oh wow!
So I was like, okay, well, that put me in a conundrum, because I had to handle all this. Like, how am I going to do coverage for my crew, because it's going to be a mixture of American crew, English crew, and and also local Hungarian crew, right?
Sorry to interrupt, but like when you were planning this up during the COVID era, I always call it the COVID era.
Right.
Budgeting that was that like a left field thing where it's like, we got to do tests now. Like, but were you budgeted prior, or you knew once you got the IP, it was like it was already built into the budget?
No. I mean, the budgeting came like maybe literally 6 months before we started, pre-production.
Right.
Because of like, okay, we decided, okay, we're going to take it a shot. We're going to go to Hungary.
Oh, so COVID has already happened?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because we went there, I think, probably February or March 2022. So I think vaccinations in America started in March or April 2022. So the first vaccination shots. Yeah. So I couldn't go until at least I got my first shot. Yeah. And then I could go, and then I would fly back to get my second shot.
Because we like commercial world and music video world, it was just another add-on to like, as you know, budgets can be super tough. Yeah. And now you have to add another area to fulfill just to make the film. So I was just wondering if it happened before, because production.
It was even how prepared you were. It was still everyone was still trying to figure it out. Yeah. Because nobody had answers. I mean, even the testing, we were like, okay, we do the one with the nose, or do we do the one with the mouth? So we would alternate and try to make sure, because you have to kind of look at the ratio of, what you're missing, because there'll be some tests with the nose, and then suddenly the same person got COVID anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. So, okay, then do we do it with the mouth?
It's so unknown.
Yeah, it's so unknown. Yeah. So those kind of mitigating situations that we tried our best, and of course then you're talking about people. I mean, nobody knew anything at that time. It's like So everybody's masked, and then there are folks that had breathing asthma issues that can't be masked.
Right.
There was just so many issues, and then I had like issues with certain crew, not crew so much, but more like talent, and respectfully, some people did not want to work opposite other talents when they find out they're not vaccinated.
Oh yeah.
Right. So
but that's troubleshooting there.
Yeah. So you're like,
this is a great unknown.
Yeah. So I was like, how do you do this? Because. And those things also can hurt morale and feelings, right?
Yep.
Because some people take it very personal. And at the same time, union rules were like, you cannot ask anybody if they were vaccinated, right? I mean, out of respect,
Just like the casting, they can't ask them.
So I mean, that's understandable because it's a very personal issue. So we have to respect that as well. But at the same time, I think the insurance policies had to ask because they are not going to cover folks that were not vaccinated.
They can ask privately. The insurance.
They can.
Insurance can just.
Yeah.
They don't need to tell anybody else around the crew members.
So we had the actors speak directly to the insurance people, and the insurance people will have to provide a report.
Yes.
Right. So of course we as producers have to review the report before it goes out. So of course we would know, who. And then, but the problem is also other folks in the office, they might come across a report.
Oh God.
And so of course that gets out into other people. So of course we tell as much as you can tell people not to tell anybody. Everyone's scared, right? Like, don't go that person because they're not vaccinated. So you might get because let's say if you're not vaccinated.
Right,
suddenly you get it from that person. You're trying to be, I don't know, as careful as you can. So I think there are a lot of that fear.
Man.
So
you were there the whole time?
Sensitive
time. I mean, it's sensitive all around. I mean, then you do what you can.
How long was that shoot?
Ooh, that was a long one. That was, I think we shot maybe 4 months. Wow. We shot in Croatia, we shot in Hungary.
In multiple countries. Because I was like, can imagine the regulation in different countries, not just the U.S.
And also it was hard because of COVID at the time. We were recommended by both the studio and by the insurance company not to have people travel outside. Even
that means they can't see their families and stuff.
Or like I remember some talents wanting to go like, hey, I'm it's an hour flight to Italy and there's an hour flight to Paris. I want to go and
jeopardize
do
the
some
production.
shopping.
You get caught. You get COVID in Italy. Come back. You're like, yo, sorry.
You close the whole shoot down. How did you decide? Off topic here. How did you decide to choose somebody who's? I'm not saying he's never, but Mackenyu. How did you decide to have him as a lead? To act in it.
I think I think the whole idea of the Seiya, because technically that intellectual property, even though on the international front has gone next to the Zodiac, the original title in Japan was called Saint Seiya. So Seiya is the main character of the entire franchise. So for us, and especially from Kurumada Sensei, who created it, said, look, all I care about, I don't, you can do what you need to do, but Saint Seiya needs to be played by a Japanese ethnically person, right? It can be Japanese American, but preferably he's of Japanese origin. I will consider if you need to cast Korean Americans or Chinese Americans or whatever, right? Ethnically Asian, but preferably if you can find Japanese, would be great. So we had a casting associate in Tokyo, and she recommended to my colleague, my producing partner, Yoshi Kazawa, who was over at Toei, said, hey, Yoshi, Mackenyu, son of Sony Chiba, may be a great choice because he speaks perfect American English. He kind of grew up in, I think, Beverly Hills, actually. So he went to high school here and all that. But he also speaks perfect Japanese because he's
a legend.
So, and then basically we had the luxury of approaching him, and he was like a huge fan of the property and said, "Yeah, I'll do it." And this was before he did One Piece, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So he did Pacific Rising already.
Right.
Pacific Rim Rising. but it was a smaller role.
Correct.
I felt like he went on Nights of the Zodiac.
Yep.
How do you say it?
It boosted him.
It boosted him. Yeah.
I think One Piece really is the one that really made him consolidated him solidify him as a Hollywood movie star.
Such a good show. Such a good show.
So he's doing the second season. So, but I think we were sort of the first, at least, film to take a chance.
Yes.
But by the same time, Mac has a lot of talent, natural talent, because of who his dad was. So one thing we were worried about was the action, whether he could do it. So we had and Andy Chang.
Legend.
So he came on and then Andy and I were talking, and he said, "Let me test him out." So I think Andy went to Tokyo. I think he tested him out, and he said, "Don't have to worry."
So you guys tested him out, but you were signed. He signed on already.
Oh, he signed on already. Yeah. He just needed to know how much time he had to prepare for it. So he went to Tokyo and they tested him out, and he's like, "Okay, this guy." I said, because Andy came from the Jackie Chan camp, right? So Andy also said, "Look, besides Jackie Chan, I think Mac is probably like the next Jackie Chan in terms of action.
Yeah.
Like he could choreograph these complex moves, and Mac just needs to do it once, and he can do it. He doesn't need to prep.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So the only other person you remember who could do that was Jackie.
Yep.
He's just gifted. Some people are just gifted that way.
Yeah.
And I think he's really.
What was that drama school that they all went to with Sammo Hung? The Chinese drama theater.
Yep.
They were kids, and they were throwing them down on the floor, and they had to learn how to
do the roles.
I'm glad you corrected me on Mackenyu.
Right.
I was always doing Mac. Okay, but he did do other animated properties.
Yes.
Yeah, before he did yours.
Yes.
So it seems like he
did Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah, that one.
So and Kenji Tanikawa, I can't remember Kenji's last name, but Kenji-san directed the action. He choreographed the action on that movie.
Wow.
All the Rurouni Kenshin films. Kenji comes from the Donnie Yen action group.
Wow, yeah.
So Kenji just directed an action movie recently in Thailand, and from the producer of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. But Kenji speaks perfect Cantonese, like because he had worked in Hong Kong for so long. So Andy called him, "Hey Kenji, what do you think of Mac?" He says, "Oh, that boy, number one." So,
that's good.
Yeah, so it's sort of like the stunt world, the action world is very close to each other, right? Yeah. They might not all speak perfect English, but they all speak the stunt action language.
Action.
Yeah.
And if you're in that community, you all will know each other.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So Kenji kind of like validated Mac's action abilities. So then, and he was like, "Okay, that means the work is cut down as opposed to having to do more work."
I'm gonna type in. I think Sean Bean has a record of how many deaths. Spoiler. But Sean Bean again. You get these major English actors, and you get the young generation act. I mean, you guys are like just throwing.
Very lucky to get Sean, because I think he had a bit of a break in between. Because I think he had come off of.
Game of Thrones.
No. He had come off of Snowpiercer.
Oh, Snowpiercer.
Oh yeah. He was on the second, third season, I think. And I think there was a break, so he came and joined us. And of course, during COVID, it was a bit crazy. So of course, not everybody wanted to do films during COVID, but he was gung ho for it. As in, he and his lovely wife came and joined us. Sean was amazing. He was able. We gave him a new script, and he didn't need more than a day, and he could remember his lines. And just perform it with like a lot of levity, and he was so just grounded and very low maintenance, So we were quite blessed. And then his wife sort of like, they would love anything. She like, oh no, he just likes gardening and because they live like maybe an hour and a half outside of London. And all one of his off days, he just gardens and takes care of, his little, so very simple life. Yeah. And then of course he goes and works and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, you had simple actor, easy to work with. You don't have to name no names, but what are actors who with high demand or certain requests that you don't have to put no names, but what was like one of the most challenging requests?
How about this? Not just your film.
Not
just your films, like collaborations, maybe.
Yeah, you know what? I think every actor has their needs for sure. Yeah. So I think we do need to respect that. And there were challenges for every film, but like even when I said Zodiac, there was one particular talent that I personally didn't get too close to. My other colleagues did. They were all good friends, with the talent. And there were certain needs that the talent needed, which I felt like, well, I feel like you don't need to do that because I feel like one, you might jeopardize the crew, it was during COVID, right? Yeah. But the main thing is that talent, I have to say, it's extremely professional. When they would come on time to the set, they would do everything. Even when we did marketing, they were very supportive. Great. And then they, at the same time, also they knew their stuff. They would even tell the director, well, I don't think you should be doing it this way. Because they knew they've done their movies so long. So they're really, I remember a story like with Sigourney Weaver. I remember, was it David Fincher? I can't remember which other director said, you got to know your shit because Sigourney's going to call you on that, right? Because she will like, why are you shooting it this way, or why you shoot like filmmakers, like actors, they know they dabble, they know their craft. You got to be respectful, because they know film language and they would know aesthetics. They would know how to conduct themselves. I think the one challenge I had was really. Younger actors who, when it almost felt like you come out and like, oh, it's like a circus. Like everything is so exciting, and then they can find themselves in potential issues, right? Yeah. So I tried my best to like rope them back in, like, okay, come on, guys, we gotta.
Yeah, you're preventing.
You gotta behave. You gotta.
That's why you like producers are like having.
Well, but no, not just me. There were other colleagues in the team. Most important, actually, Mark Dacalcos was very helpful because he was sort of a mentor to a lot of the young actors. And then also, like, I think we're coming to play the 47 Ronin. Our director Ron was really sort of the big brother on set.
All the guys.
And he's an actor. Ron is an actor.
He's a stunt.
So he knew how to kind of put everybody like, hey, look, if I'm doing all this, you guys need to also pull your game up.
Strong alpha male, like he's a back.
But also like a big uncle.
Big brother.
Because you seem like you're very open to having so many opportunities to people who normally you wouldn't see. Right. Ron Yoon is an actor directing, and then you got Mackenyu doing acting in a big budget film. You got. What else? Even though you have the season act, I was wondering if you would have a female director in the future.
Oh yeah. I've always actively tried to seek out diverse, voices.
Oh, qualified. I'm not.
Of course.
Based off of merit, but it just seems like you do gamble.
No, I think a unique sort of what do you call it? Original voice is strong is important. I think, like, I'll come back to quickly and I'll answer your question. Like with Ron, it wasn't just me. I think it was also Universal. And, everybody kind of selected him.
That's good.
Especially a female executive, Cher Stallings. She championed him. So I think it made sense. And then and we also looked at female directors for that project, which unfortunately just in the end I didn't work, so it doesn't. But with regards to, like, even presently, I'm working with the director of the co-director of Kung Fu Panda 4.
Yeah,
Stephanie Mastine. So Stephanie is working with me on a animated feature, and she's directing that. So we're very blessed. So I think her voice is very unique and very.
I met her. She looks 16.
Oh yeah, she's actually 14. No, she's very sweet.
Yeah, she's very nice. I met her at a networking thing, and she has this cute hat. I love hats, but not baseball cap. But I do like the
She's a true artist. Yeah. She's got great taste. She's very generous. She also mentors the younger generation. She really loves mentoring, and she
that's good.
great insight, and always generous with her time, and always introducing us to younger and also colleagues that are very talented. So. Can't say any, just say only good things about her.
No, the Asian community
awesome.
is very strong. I noticed a lot of people. It's just because of you, I'm going to interview Bao Chan.
Oh yeah. Bao's awesome too.
And another Vietnamese director, which is cool. I never.
And he's so talented. Like he did Paper Tigers together. That was such a great project and great film.
I know. I love stories about senior citizens and stuff. I do just to show that we don't. I'm like
right.
We don't quit. Like we continue to flourish and all that.
Well,
stuff.
Karate Kid is about senior citizens.
Yeah, exactly.
Or at least the new one is.
Yeah.
Which is wild. I mean, brilliant on their part, right?
Yeah.
Bring the two together.
It's funny, yeah. So I'm going to shoot you some examples. Of log lines, right? And I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna just see what you think about it. Okay, just 3. I'll just save you from it. So one is obviously going to be an action. The title is Way of the Warrior. Okay.
Oh wow.
So a team of special forces operators reunite to face off against the mafia to avenge the murder of their former commanding officer. How is that logline to you?
It's great. It's and I'm gonna link it back to what people are looking for today because that's probably the easiest to validate it. I guess I don't know if you want to validate. I don't know if you can actually validate anything because like what people like today might not be what people like tomorrow. But then it comes around again. Right? I mean, we were told. Presently, at least on the streaming side, on the episodic side, that people were looking for, like similar sort of spy movies or like covert movies or like the Jack Ryans or the Heist, the Jack Reacher. So that type of thing, like the Mission Impossibles, I guess. So that I think it's that type of long line's always very commercial, and I think very attractive, and so especially if it's a revenge story.
Always revenge.
Yeah.
I think Asians and revenge is typical. Okay, so here's a thriller.
Okay.
A troubled young woman is persuaded by her therapist to undergo radical new treatment that promises to cure her paranoid delusions, but she revisits her past traumas and she uncovers a secret that makes her question her own sanity.
Oh my goodness. Strong female sort of performance kind of piece. I think also a lot of room to play with a woman's not just anxieties, but I think choices and insecurities of like how she's connecting to the world.
Copy.
Right?
Yeah. Let's let me know if you think, maybe that would be good on screen.
I think that's definitely good on screen. I think it depends on.
Don't be nice.
Okay. No. I don't think there's ever a bad idea. It's just the idea. Like it's the same thing as like it depends on how it's executed, right? Of course, it's the same thing as like when somebody says, "Can I be a director?" Yes, anybody can be a director because you just go out and direct. The only question is, are you a good director after you direct? That's the question.
Exactly. Last one, a young man drama. A young man suffering from heartbreak and insomnia finds salvation when he meets two strangers who join him on a spiritual journey through the Los Angeles.
Oh, I love it. I always love spiritual movies like that.
Oh,
yeah, because I think the world needs more of that. The world needs more. I hate to be cliche, but the world needs more love, spirituality. I'm not into religious stories, but at the same time, if the religious, the religious overtone is more spiritual, I'm totally all for it. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with it.
Or coming of age, like
coming of age is important. But if also the religious stories are very honest and very sincere, then I think it's great.
I'm again off topic on this. When you guys had Lee Evans' character,
yes, sir. Yes,
really, he was not likable in the beginning in Medallion, but then we started liking him later after the rejuvenation. That was interesting because the relationship changed, which I'm glad you did that because for characters it has to happen that way so that they.
Yeah, he was supposed to start off as a stiff upper lip.
Yeah.
Kind of like somebody who's very can't bend the rules. But then after a while, you realize like, oh my God, my partner's dead. So now I gotta what does that mean?
Yeah, you know what I mean? I gotta be a team player.
Exactly, I gotta figure it out. Like there are no rules.
All right, here's the hopefully the fun part for you. We have 10 questions.
I'm having a lot of fun. When you're ready,
No, we have 10 questions. What's your favorite color?
Favorite color is probably blue.
Coffee or boba?
Boba.
I'm gonna say pho or dim sum.
I would say I like both. If it was my wife, she would be pho.
And it's got to be filet mignon, right?
I'm sorry?
Filet mignon pho.
Oh yeah. But for me, I like simple pho. Even pho ga, which is chicken.
My dad eats that too. Star Trek or Star Wars?
I have to say I'm a Trekkie. I love Star Trek. Yeah.
Say it with pride.
No. I mean, I love Star Wars too, but I mean, I think these days I'm probably more Star Trek.
I'm not trying to divide it. A book or a song that helps you get through the days.
Definitely songs.
Streaming or movie theater?
My preference would be movie theater, but because I have two kids, it's hard. So streaming, unfortunately, is the life.
Right. K-pop. Oh, sorry, that was for another person. Okay. Superpower.
Superpower? Oh,
out of everything that you've seen in Marvel and DC, which?
I don't know. I mean, you know what? I feel like any superpower you have, there's always going to be consequences somehow. So I probably, I don't know, is having world peace a superpower? I don't know. I mean, I guess the superpower is to try to help others. That's probably...
Yeah.
That's his...
no one has said that yet, so it's good. Mom or dad?
Dad's probably more aligned with me.
And if you had to put everything in a box, what 3 things would you do? Bring.
Oof. 3.
Sentimental or practical? It's fine.
I guess it depends on where I'm going, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're escaping from. I don't want to be Debbie Downer, but after the fires, everybody's like, "What do you bring? What do you bring to?" So I wanted to see what people.
Well, for me, it's all sentimental. So everything that's related to my wife and my kids. That's it. I mean the interim family, right? So anything that I don't know.
I would say. For you, because you have kids, toilet paper would be
practical stuff. Yes, that's for sure.
Because you have kids, I mean, I'm sure you can find your own.
Well, my daughter would say snacks.
Snacks. Kevin, what about you? What would your superpower be? I like to ask the co-host.
I don't know. This sounds very boring, but to fly.
Everybody
cruise.
Yeah.
That's important.
You're mad at home. I'm out of here. Just fly out. I'll be back later. Just fly away.
You can get out of pickles.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like invincible.
Yeah.
So how about your 3 things?
3 things, huh? I mean, I hate to say it, but it's probably my phone.
That's important because you got pictures of your kids and grandkids.
So I can relive, look at old videos. I mean, I do that even now.
It's all memories and work too.
Yeah, work schedule. I mean, it's all like it's which sucks. I know that's very like hey, like technology. You take that out of the way, but like. At least I can resurface, backtrack, and navigate and find find a way. So definitely a phone, and then I don't know. I guess
I'm like your wheels.
Just joking. I mean, you're gonna need your vehicle if that's the only thing that you got, right? So
someone did say the car. They said a specific.
And a credit card. I mean,
credit card's important.
So you got money to spend, how to react, and then to get where you need to go and sleep in it.
And you take care of it.
If you need to, you can
protect your kids and and all that.
Yeah.
So.
There's no judgment on
the right answer.
Podcast. Thank you, Tim KWOK.
Thank you.
For being here.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Your experience is just so wide, and your the mannerism that you have. I'm assuming just seeing you twice is that
it's all in that. It's all in that.
I didn't know you act too.
No. I leave that to Christopher Shaw.
I know.
He's a movie star. That boy.
I love him. He's so cool. He's very good.
All the ladies love him. Yeah.
He's actually a mob boss after this. After this, it takes him. People pick him up.
That's Christopher Shaw.
And how do people find you, or you don't want people to find you?
I actually prefer people don't find me.
So no one can find you.
No, I mean, I think friends, of course, they know me, they'll find me. But and then people that who know my friends and then my friends vouch for, I would definitely
copy.
Definitely have time for it.
Thank you for playing with us today, and thank you, Kevin Boston.
Thank you, Kevin Boston. And he's also a young grandfather. Congratulations, Kevin.
Thank you.
So happy.
And we are done.
Oh, thank you.
Stay tuned for the next episode. Pop the yolk and spread the love. YOLK is